Hello everyone, welcome back to Neutralix. I'm your host cosolix, and today we are doing the ultimate Brawlhalla tier list. So essentially we are going to be doing two tier lists. The first tier list is going to be a weapon tier list, and this is just my current opinions. This meta is pretty interesting. There's been so many changes to Brawlhalla recently, so this is completely different to what it was, 3 months ago when we did our last tier list. And then the other tier list is going to be a legend tier list. And again, things have been really changing, so you're going to want to watch this video to actually stay up to date with which weapons are viable and which ones are the best at a top level. I'm also going to say this is primarily a 1v1 tier list. However, I'm going to take into account some of twos. Maybe it's like 70% ones, 30% twos, because that's most people's priority. But if you want something a bit more specific, let me know down below in the comments. We'd love to hear your questions, and maybe we'll comment, hey, how would you rank Bodvar in 2v2, for instance? And we'll reply to that, or other people can reply to that, and you guys have your own discussion. Also, if you want to improve at Brawlhalla, make sure you subscribe to Team Neutralix, because this channel is designed to help you improve at Brawlhalla as much as possible. We have a large quantity of very useful information, so go check out our old videos or just stay subscribed for new videos. And if you want some personal coaching from me or any of the other coaches here at Neutralix, check out our website. The link to that is down below. Sorry for the long intro. It's just very useful to you guys, especially if you want to improve. But let's get right into the actual video. So let's start with Axe. We're just going to go right into it, and we're going to adjust the tier list as it goes. Axe is kind of insane right now, just because of how Kaina is doing. Just really good, especially in doubles as well. It's kind of hard to put Axe outside of S. Super well-rounded, kind of does everything. And yeah, kind of has been winning in Brazil, and Brazil's the best region. I also think boots are incredible still. I might just put boots in A, even though I still think they're insane, but maybe Axe is on another level. I will say, if people from Brawlhalla are watching this video, I wouldn't even recommend balancing the game too much around this. I would just buff stuff that are definitely at the bottom. I wouldn't touch the things at the top, because top tier weapons is very debatable. It depends on the pro playing them, really. So many talented and amazing pros, but it's really the player, not the weapon, at the top. But both boots and axe are very viable. I will say blasters don't feel so. Blasters don't feel great. I'm going to remove this D tier row. I don't think we'll need it. I'm just going to put blasters in C. It's just, they're not being played. They're not great at twos. I think they're very close from being really good, but also with a lot more movement now, it's a lot harder to be accurate in general with Brawlhalla, and with the more accurate hitboxes of blasters, because you have stagnant momentum most of the time unless you're in the air. Yeah, it's just tough. Axe is so big and heavy and hits, so it's a bit different. Bow I think is really solid. I'm just gonna put bow in B. No real issues. I wouldn't really touch anything in B and above. I wouldn't touch. These are just some opinions. Like cannon as well. I think for 1v1 cannon's fine, but for 2v2 there's a lot of issues with cannon in my opinion. I'm gonna put cannon above bow though in B tier. I'm not doing any of these gadgets. Just ignore the gadgets. We're gonna throw these weapons to the top. This tier list just happens to have gadgets on it, so it's all good. So let me adjust that, and yeah, let's keep going. So sword I think is also really solid, but same thing. I think the average weapon is gonna be a B tier weapon. I'll put sword here. But yeah, it's solid. Same with like gauntlets. I think there's gonna be a lot of B weapons. I'm gonna throw gauntlets here, throw them there. But yeah, just super solid. And hammer as well. I think hammer is very balanced. Like I think boots could be S. I just think axe is for sure S, because the best player in the world is playing axe. Treat that bias as you will, but I gotta listen to what's winning. But yeah, we'll throw hammer as well in B. Like I think it's solid. I'd even throw it above gauntlets. I'd throw it above bow, maybe like here or something like that. The order of each tier doesn't matter far, like not too much. But yeah, greatsword I'm gonna put high A. Kind of hard to see it as too problematic when used swapped off greatsword to play fate. We'll be talking about those weapons shortly. Why is there not? There's no orb on this list. Okay, this is a bad list. Editor, you're gonna have to add Orban on this tier list at the end. We'll talk about it. But yeah, we'll put greatsword at high A. It's still really solid, so proven to do well. Great combo game, great kill options, insane combos, insane neutral, insane momentum, like has it all. Aerial true combos, like dare recovery, or dare nair, I mean, insane. Katars are proven to be really good right now. I'm going to put Katara's even above Greatsword. Just what Richibu's doing is insane. I just think they're insane. But more insane than that, I think Scythe is just insane. So good in raw neutral. You have so much range, and range is really important right now. Lots of momentum as well. The biggest thing is like hitboxes far away from you that also have no dead zones. Axe has downlight, has side light, and neutral light, all cover different spaces. End light is stacked, side light is horizontal, down light is diagonal. Then you can jump near vertical. There's no dead zones, and they're big hitboxes. Scythe, end light stacked, down light horizontal away, side light kind of stacked, slightly horizontal away, jump nair, diagonal, jump recovery, diagonal, end light is basically vertical. The only thing is directly above, but then you have movement, and movement is so fast. Like dash, jumping, fast falling is the fastest way to move in the game. So yeah, you kind of see that theme. Same with Katara, side light, horizontal, D light, diagonal. They don't have dead zones. Even Greatsword barely has some dead zones because it's got so much tempo. So that's the biggest thing to look out for. Like a lot of these other weapons, a lot of them have dead zones. I don't think Cannon does, but it doesn't have a ton of priority in neutral like Scythe and Axe do. Lance, I don't think is terrible, but being honest, no one's playing it. Nobody is playing it. It's really still just me and a little bit of Truck Stop Burrito. That's about it. It's pretty crazy. Their S-Grape was playing it a little bit. It's just crazy. No one is really playing Lance. No one's really succeeding with Lance. I can't have any excuses because I'm not practicing like I used to, but if nobody else is doing that well with it either, I think C tier needs a buff. And I wouldn't touch B, and I'd maybe nerf S tier. Maybe. It's hard. The meta's changing so fast. And the last weapon on this list, other than Orb, which we'll talk about, is Spear. And I think Spear is fine. Like, I think it's like Gauntlets. This is a 1v1 list. I think this is fair. The only thing is Orb, and Orb is also S. Again, the dead zone's down light's diagonal. Side light's horizontal. End light's stacked. Right? And there's a diagonal in the air. Sarah's horizontal. There is diagonal downwards. You got ground pound. You got recovery. There's no dead zones. It's got good range. It's got baiting options. Kill confirms. It's like Sword, but with no dead zones. And that's why I think it's better than Sword. So, yeah, Orb is here, editor. Put in Orb where my mouse is. And that is the weapon tier list. Let me know if you disagree in the comments below. And let's go to a legend tier list. I'm not going to be explaining every legend because, as you can see, there's a lot of legends. Not going to be going over the crossovers. Just assume the crossovers are better than their actual character because they usually are. Things that are different, people aren't used to, so you might want to buy a crossover if you main one of them. And support Brawlhalla. Okay, let's go through this fairly fast because I don't want to keep you guys here for 40 minutes and get really bored. Again, 1v1 primarily. Bodvar, fine. B tier. Based on the weapons, think of the weapon tier list we just did and kind of think about that. Blasters and Hammer, kind of mid, right? Orion, insane, still well-rounded to this day, but the weapons don't put him in S anymore. Vrax has some insane gimmicks to him, but I'm just going to put at the top of B. Like, Impala's been telling me, you gotta play Vrax, you gotta play Vrax. I think Blasters and Lance are a terrible combination right now. They're just not meta, but the other stuff, if Lance and Blasters were meta, then Vrax would be everywhere. So that's something to think about, just to be careful. Be careful buffing things too much, or stupidness can become S tier. I think Nash is low-key really underrated, but we are getting away from a Dex-heavy meta, so I'm just going to put Nash here. I think Queen Nai is actually genuinely really good. Just kind of underappreciated. And I think Hattori's honestly really solid too. There's going to be a lot in B tier. Just get ready, guys. I'll put Hattori there. And I think Roland's fine, but I think he's kind of mid. I'm going to put Roland there. Scarlet, I genuinely think is good. I think the Hammer Sigs give it no dead zones. Like, what's a Hammer's dead zone? Side lights horizontal, down light stacked, end light stacked. No diagonal. Hammer and Sigs diagonal. That's insane. This Scarlet's Hammer kit might be the best Hammer kit in the game. And her Lance kit doesn't have a diagonal, but you have a ton of force. If you're good enough with Lance, you'll be fine. Like, I think there. Thatch is also pretty solid too. Just gonna put Thatch like here. I'd say Hattori's better. I'd do something like that. Actually, I think Bodvar is better. Yeah, that's fine. Blasters, Ada. I don't think Ada's bad, just not insane right now. Throw Ada here. Sentinel, I low-key think is insane. I'm gonna throw Sentinel here. Lucen, I still think is solid, but just not, like, the Sigs make up for it in the stats. Now, Taros is broken. Kaina is insane, best Taros. There are other Taroses doing really well as well, like Anonymous Alex. I think Godly was playing Taros and won in his region, EU. So, It's kind of hard not to recommend Taros right now. I can't lie. And with Axe being good, I think Bryn's really solid. You know what? I'm going to add another thing. We're going to call this, I don't know, B to A. I don't know, like 0.5. D.5. Sure. And let's change the color of it really fast. There we go. So I still think good, but, you know, we'll go B+. There we go, B+. Let's do something like that. Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. Even though I think Hattori can still be good. Asuri, I think, is really solid. I'm going to throw Asuri up here. I'm actually, you know what? There we go. I think just Katars are really good right now, like we talked about. Baraz is pretty good, but yeah, I think like a B+ character. Blasters again. Ember is honestly really solid. Could easily like a B+. Azoth can easily be like a B+. I think something like that. Not thinking too much about the order of each tier again, but more the rough idea. Like Koji, I think can be really solid. And I still think Ulgrim's really good. I still think I'd put Ulgrim basically A. It's kind of hard not to. I think Ulgrim's better than Scarlet in doubles, but I think Scarlet's better than Ulgrim in singles. But I don't know. Axe is also really good right now. I'm just not... I just like Hammer. Compliments Lance really nice. So we'll go do something like that. Like, there are Lance characters at the top. Even if I think Lance needs to be buffed a bit. Maybe those characters need to be nerfed in other ways. I don't know. Diana, I still think is, like, really solid. It's just blasters that... Jala... Throw her... I still think she's good. Throw her next, like, Bryn or something. I think Core is really underrated. I've got no issues with Core. We'll just throw here, sure. And I think Wushang is still insane. Even with Gauntlets being... Go something like that. I think Val's still really solid. Throw Val there. And I think Ragnar is low-key, like, insane. Like, Katar's Axe, you kind of see at the top. I think Cross is mid. Just do something like that. I don't think blasters are good right now. You know, I'll do that. He was an animal in twos not too long ago. And I think Scythe is insane, and I think Spear is really good. I'm just going to throw Mirage right at the top. Something like that. Nyx has blasters, but not bad. Just going to go there. And I still think Mordex is really good, but I also just think Sandstorm's the GOAT for winning with Mordex fairly recently. So just going to put Mordex here, even though it's still insane. Yumiko is very underrated. Just waiting for a bit more of a Yumiko meta. So I'm going to put Yumiko in like B+. But could very well have some insane setups. You know what? We'll put them in low A. Like this. You could easily separate A into 2 tiers at this point. You know, I will. Gonna throw the ones that are, you know, down there. You could still probably divide into 2 tiers. And I'll throw these guys up. Oh, there's so many characters that are like, could be good. Throw them like that. We just completely got rid of the B tier. Okay, Artemis I think is actually probably the best Lance character. Because of where Scythe is right now. Yeah, I'm gonna throw Scarlet up down to B+. And then, yeah, we'll leave it at this. Caspian, I think, can still be good, but I think like a B+. I think Sidra is really good, but I'd still put like a B+ right now. I don't know, something like this we can do. Zal, just because of how good Axe is, and I still think Cannon's good. I'd say Cannon's better than Lance, so I'd put Zal like this. Yeah, I think this is fair. I still think Kaya is good, but not as problematic as Kaya used to be. Do something like that. I think Isaiah's mid. I don't think he's bad. Just blasters I think are mid right now. Do something like that. I think Jiro's good, but one of the weaker Scythe characters. I can't lie. Something like that. And Lin Fei is shown to be pretty crazy in the right hand, so we'll do like that. And Zerial's still good in ones. That looks good. And Brayman 2, Gauntlets and Axe. A lot of Gauntlet characters still at the top, even if Gauntlets aren't. It's because the characters are just insane. It's not even Gauntlets at this point. I think Dusk isn't bad. Throw Dusk near Kaya, something like that. Now, another problematic character. I think Orb and Scythe are really good. I think Fate Sigs are really good. A lot of players are playing Fate in Brazil. I kind of just need to listen to what they're doing and promote Fate because they're playing Fate, and probably for a good reason. And I think Thor can honestly be really good. So I'm just going to throw Thor there. And Petra's also really good. Like, similar thing. Orb's really good right now. Yeah, like, I'll throw Petra, like, here. Some of these characters could be down to B. But, yeah. I think Vector's actually very mid. Yeah, like, I'll throw a Vector there. I think just mid. The Sigs are still mid. I don't know. Uses the GOAT on Vector. Volkov is pretty good. Scythe and Axe theoretically sounds absolutely insane. I'm surprised no one's playing Volkov right now. Throw him there, sure. Onyx is still insane. You can't put Onyx outside of A. You just can't. It's unfair. Yeah, I'd do something like that. I'm gonna put Ogrim a bit less. Like, Ogrim's kind of like there. There's definitely a division between the top of A and the bottom of A, in my opinion. J-In is still insane. Has to be at, like, the top of A. Do something like this. Go there. Mako, I think, could be insane, but I think the stats are so weird. I'm going to put Mako at the bottom of A. Same with, like, Magyar. It's just too lopsided, the stats. But I think Greatsword's pretty good. Like, it's in a good spot, you know? There's not much else to say. Good characters. I think Reno can still be really good in the right hands. It's just blasters. I'll put Reno at, like, the top of, like, B+. Throw him, like, there. Now, Moonin, I think, theoretically is pretty much insane. Like, next to an Asuri level. Really, really good. It's kind of an insult that these are all on the same tier. Like, you could divide this even more. Or, we divide this less, and we get rid of B! Let's do that. Get out of here! And now, you get in here. And we'll call this... Ooh. Call this, could be S. Or S, and S+. Boom, 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 boom. That seems good. I think that's a clear division between them. And I'll do that. Okay. Cool. So it's like, these are like S tier characters. And then you have the characters that are just like really being played, from my understanding, to a level that's like kind of hard to ignore. And yeah, like I could put Mordex up there because he just won, but it's not the characters so much, it's the person using them. So just leave it at this. I just think so many people were on Fate. It was like a meta. Arcadia, just gonna throw here, can be really good still. Ezio, I think, is actually really solid. Throw Ezio there as well. And Tezca's still insane. It's Tezca. Just gonna throw Tezca there. Not S+, but still S. I think Thea's extremely mid. If not, like, it's just the stats are terrible. It's so terrible, the stats. Yeah. Red Raptor, I think, is problematic. I think that character's stupid. And who I also think is problematic. Loki is problematic. No one's playing him, but I'm just telling you he's problematic. Scythe and guitars are insane right now. Those Sigs are insane. It's just the stats slightly holding him back. And just no one picking Loki. And is that everyone? I guess that's everyone. We kind of went through that fairly fast. Only 18-minute recording. Very nice. Just looking at this one more time, maybe you could put the up there. But other than that, I think this speaks well. Each tier is not super ordered, but I tried, but I don't stand by it if I made a mistake. There's a lot of characters. If I forgot a character, let me know down below, and I'll pin it in the comments who I forgot. It's not really me forgetting, it's whoever made this tier list forgetting. But yeah, all these crossovers are S+. They're whatever character it is, just like put them right next to it, but one above. That's where the crossover is. So Shovel Knight, you know, would go here, etc. If you want me to rank the crossovers. Unless it's like Chun-Li, because, you know, if the crossover's a bit hotter, they go higher because people don't want to attack them. I'm done. Ignore that. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe if you really liked it, and if you want to improve up Brawlhalla, subscribe, because this channel again is designed for you. So thanks again. I'll see you guys all in the next video.